In the remaining time we have left, let me ask you about the Senate. You're obviously leading the effort again. You were very successful last time in walking right up to the edge of a Senate majority. You expect to get one this time. I think this is a softball question. You intend to take the majority?
We sure intend to try, but we're 4 out, and so we need to pick up 4 net seats. There are 23 Democrat seats up, 10 Republican seats up. That's a reflection of how badly we got beat 6 years ago, that so many Democrats are exposed and so few Republicans. But it's a different environment. It's a presidential election year. The turnouts are going to be much different.
2012 won't be the same as 2010 in that respect.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
But yet, I remember what it was like in January of 2009. We came off of a devastating election from my party's perspective, and how dramatically things changed in such a short period of time. I don't think we really know what November 2012 is going to be like yet, but we sure are going to try to encourage good people to run and try to get back in the majority in the Senate. I think a Republican majority in the Senate is the single best hedge to a potential second Obama term that people could work for.
But let's assume that you win the majority and you win the presidency. Neither one is assured, but both are possible. Aren't you then at the same risk of having Republican control of both houses of Congress and the presidency? You didn't much like it when the Democrats controlled both houses and the presidency. Why is that any better going forward than it has been for the Democrats going backward?
Well, I hope it's because we will have learned from some painful lessons. And I think
so. One party control's okay, but it needs to be your party.
Well, I think the American people have sort of this instinctive desire. They may not articulate it this way, but they have this sort of instinctive appreciation for divided government, checks and balances. They don't want the government to lurch and the country to lurch left or right. They want to work within the hash marks. And they saw under President Obama, notwithstanding his rather soothing rhetoric, that the country did lurch left, and they didn't like it. That's why I think the election occurred the way it did last November.
So the Republicans, if they take control of both houses and the presidency, would not lurch right, but they would stay in the center?
I hope we would be more modest, and we would be more focused on core principles like fiscal responsibility and limited government, and to allow the states to be those laboratories of democracy and to sort of fall back in love with federalism again, as opposed to command and control.
Are there particular targets? You want to tell me who the 4 seats are going to be that you expect to win?
Well, I would say I'll give you 3 of them, and one is North Dakota, where Kent Conrad is retiring.
That looks like a good one.
That one looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Montana, I think, looks pretty good, and Nebraska looked pretty good, and that leaves us 20 other Democratic seats to pick up one more.
Okay. Before we go, have you had conversations with Governor Dewhurst about running for the United States Senate here from Texas?
I have sort of in passing, nothing specific. I have read that he is still thinking about what his political future might be. The great news is we've got a lot of wonderful people who are running in the Republican primary for the U.S. Senate.
Five already.
All of them happen to be my friends.
Right.
And so I'm going to sit back and cast my secret ballot when the time comes, but otherwise let the
You're not going to tell us who you're voting for now? I can't believe it.
No, I'm not.
No.
I don't know who the candidates are. There may be some other
you expect Governor Dewhurst to run?
I don't know. I mean, at one point I would have said yes, but now it appears, at least publicly, he's reconsidering.
Democrats apparently have settled on, or are talking about having settled on, your counterpart Patty Murray on the Democratic side seems to have settled on Lieutenant General Ricardo Sanchez, who was a decorated military vet. We got into a little bit of a fuss over Abu Ghraib in the Iraq War, but
fuss is one word for it. Yeah.
Well, that is. But I'd be interested to know: would you all be able to run against him, calling the Democrats the party of torture? Would you be in a position to use Abu Ghraib as a club to beat him in a general election?
I would hope the debate be more elevated than that.
Oh, so would I.
I know General Sanchez well, and he's had offered given many years of distinguished service to the United States in the military, and I admire and respect that. Running a political campaign is a little bit different, obviously, than being a general in the Army. And of course, he's going to have to tell the American people and the people of Texas what his positions are on all the issues we've been talking about.
Right.
I think that'll have more to say about whether he is a viable candidate or not than his track record.
Okay.